Helps if my microphone is on. Good Wednesday evening, friends and neighbors. Tesweegi at the desk with the Flying Purple Baseball Beaters and your 2021 World Series champion, Colorado Rockies. What's the phrase? Denver till I die, Rockies till I rot. You better believe it. So, off-season stream. And it is starting off with a bit of an awkward moment because I made a trade between last stream and this one. I mean, this one was on stream. We sent Gomez off to Cincinnati for Senzatella, Stewart, Mundell, Joey Ortiz, who's the real prize of the package, I think. Tony Gonsolin, who's going to be helping out in the bullpen because that PBAP suppressing Coors will play. And Mark Peterson, who may also actually play with the club. No, the one that I did off stream was this one. The World Series MVP, Domingo Santana, spends only one season in Coors and is shuffled off to Boston. And part of that is now that he's marked as fragile, but also his OPS went down when moving to Coors, which does not make sense. This is his second championship. He previously won in 2014 with the Cardinals. But the guy we caught coming back, Jose Berrios. Consistent 3-WAR pitcher. Last year was his best. And he's only locked up for 3 years at $39 million. So basically like a trade and sign deal. I didn't realize that he had already gotten the extension. When did he sign it? Signed it November 7th. Traded 3 weeks later. Oh, Boston, never change. So, that brings us to where we're at right now. Free agent filings have been made. Bullpen's looking a little wobbly as a result. I mean, I like the idea of Sam Clay. Swanson's decent. McKinney will be back soon. But the goal is to get more starting pitching. And that's what I've done with the few offers I've made on free agency. I mean, we've got $10 million to spare. Asking Omar G. Espinoza to help out in the bullpen. And Enyel De Los Santos to help out in the rotation. I trust him more than Ian McKinney. Plus, 24 years old. I think we can turn a starter into him. We're not going to be able to play at the higher range of the market. Maybe Michael Fulmer. 2 championships, both with Kansas City. 27 years old. Like, I can vibe with that. But I'd want to see where the market pans out first. I mean, clearly we're not spending Kevin Gausman money. Wouldn't mind bringing Barnesy back, but not guaranteed as a closer with Phillips. And he's on the wrong side of 30, so this is tough decisions. I also want to see what I can do about swapping out Edson Garcia on a pending free agent deal. Let's see, who's the big WAR loss? No, they actually improved our standing by swapping Santana for Berrios. I mean, Santana only had this coming season and a player option, and he's already got money retained by the Cardinals. Yeah, that Tiesenbaum deal worked pretty well for us. Chafin's a free agent, but he's going to be expensive. Ditto for Josh Fields. So I'm willing to play it a little bit slow. Would love for Cutter Crawford to be healthy again in time for the season. I don't see that happening. Hopefully he can come back from his torn rotator cuff and be a big part of the rest of this Rockies rotation. Looks like some trades going on that I'm not privy to. There you see our path to the World Series. What's this deal? Blackman, old broken Blackman, Lachlan Wells, and money for Grisham, Walls, and Isan Diaz. That's a big fat nope, and Taylor Walls is going to be knocking on the door of the Major League Club this season, too. There you see the folks in the dev lab and where I'm hoping they end up. McKinney coming back will be... There he is. So, I mean, he can pitch as a starter. I'd much rather see him come out of the pen. Get the bump on his stuff courtesy of the fastball slider combo. Because that plays to Kopech's strength. I mean, Kopech and McKinney are basically kin of each other. Kopech with a better BABIP. McKinney with the better stuff and reverse orientation. Ideally, we don't have either and we go with De Los Santos, but we'll see what things happen. All right, we're starting to get some scouting reports in so we can offer some minor league deals. Start fleshing out the minor league system. After they were decimated by the pandemic years. Well, at least how the game's set up in the pandemic years. All right, Eniel De Los Santos for $1 million. Yeah, let's do that. Nick Gonzalez. Yeah, that's a no from me. Nick York. Right, that one I'll do a deal on. Let's get to winter meetings time. Kato. Ugh. With a bad result. Alright. Nice job there, Gosuke. Alright, let's see. I want to get Taylor Walls in to work on his infield defense. DJ Stewart. Let's get Stott in to work on his infield defense as well. Alright, Grisham didn't go anywhere. Let's try Nimmo. Right now we're planning on having Nimmo in right field and Grisham in left. I do like that Nimmo really found himself in Coors. Hopefully he can also work on his avoid K a little bit. Alright, Eniel De Los Santos is getting into a bidding war. Alright, we got a bunch of folks in the minor leagues. Good, good. De Los Santos still taking his sweet time to figure it out, but at least now we've been able to get some folks in to flesh out the higher levels of the minors. Let's take a look at the trading block and see who is available. Old man Sean Marshall, pending free agent. Wasn't he on our team at one point? Yeah, 2013 for the stretch drive. John Means Business, still kicking around. Joe Kelly and all his money. Looks like he had some injuries in 2021. Elbow inflammation. The other problem is I don't have that much money to do trades with. "41-year-old Mark Sullivan, he's still going. He stopped pitching his screwball. Aw, man. When did that happen?" That screwball was one of his most effective weapons. He was a part of our World Series teams in 2006, 2007. 2008, he made the conversion to starter and won 16 games. And then we included him in the Steve Green deal that backfired on us. He showed up in 91 games for the Dodgers. Do we give him a chance to come home? They are asking a lot. I got big hopes for Luis Patino, so that's a no. Yeah, that's a no from me. Tempting as it would be to bring Sully back. Archie Bradley, though. Houston might be asking a lot, but that would also mean we don't need to go get Eniel De Los Santos. They want Brock Burke or Rhys Hoskins. Ha ha ha. What about Bowers? Bowers plus? Yeah, that... No. Never mind. Archie Bradley? Cardinal Van? That's who you're referring to? Judge is available on the trade market. All he's done is hit dingers, 200 of them, before age 30. If I didn't just get Brandon Nimmo and try to promote Trent Grisham, let's knock tires on him. Yeah, there's no way the Padres are going to send him within the division. The only batter I feel like we need is a second baseman, because let's go take a look. First base, we got Rhys Hoskins, who had an absolutely monster postseason. 902 OPS in 54 starts with our club. I have every hope that he's going to continue to kick Heine, and we've got him locked up for the next 4 seasons. Or under team control. Edson, we're trying to move. Isan Diaz or Gosuke Kato will take second base. DJ locked up long term. Hammerlock on third base. Bless this boy. Shortstop, Gio, at least for this season. I have no idea if we're going to be able to afford to keep him afterwards. He's asking a lot. And the outfield is locked in. It's Grisham, Almora, and Nimmo. Sizemore has one last season before he retires. Our goal this year is to get him to 2,500 games played and 2,500 starts. Both of these are doable. 2,500 hits. Let's make it happen. Oh, and catcher, we got Murphy and Your Mean Mercedes. There's no real room for improvement there. So let's take a look at second base. Free agents. So Jace Peterson is an interesting option. If nothing else, we could use him as a super utility dude. Isan's got the power, though. And the avoid K. He is an improvement on Gosuke, but I'm not sure if a 30-year-old... Well, he's willing to take a minor league deal. Yeah, we'll invite him. Why not? Shane Opitz, who we traded away in disgrace. Arise is an interesting call. Let's throw him some minor league money. Mostly because it'd be funny to see what he does at Coors. Like, comedic. The top two options are players we can't afford, and Chris Taylor, who would be really fun to have. And Jose Altuve, who doesn't cut the mustard defensively. Let's get back to the trading block. Our options are Chad Pinder, who's a straight nope. Tony Kemp, who's even worse defensively. Matt Reynolds, who is injured. I mean, it was raking when he was healthy. Brad Miller, who probably doesn't do well defensively. Xander Bogaerts, who really is a third baseman. All right, Enrique Hernandez I could be talked into. I mean, Isan, we're hoping, can improve his infield defense and take over at shortstop. That's the other consideration. It would be a step down defensively. Twins want... Hey! The Twins will take Edson off my hands. I could get behind this. Let's see if we can't sweeten the deal a little bit, though. Connor Joe. As much as I want Shohei, they're never going to give him up. They locked up Jonathan Villar long-term. Ryu locked up long-term. And they're spending a lot of money. Trevor Stefan looks like he's going to be dominant. There's no way they're going to give up on him. Shedlong Jr., the catcher. Does he play over your mean? Well, it's an upgrade in offense, if nothing else. Let's swap backup catchers. Actually, who's the better between Shed and Mario? Mario's got the avoid K and I advantage. Yeah, you know what? We're going to take Shedlong Jr. off their hands. Enrique Hernandez can be a super utility dude and see if he can play second base. And they're willing to eat some money. Boom! Alright, we've upset our fans by trading away Edson, who's going to take over as the new shortstop for the Twinsies. At least he can play with Ohtani. And Enrique Hernandez becomes our new second baseman / super utility dude. Wow, we're really going to put Grady Sizemore in left. That is a choice. I'd much rather see Grisham out there. But I do like the idea of having Isan Diaz as our primary second baseman. Very important player to have. Stanton heads to Boston. What are you doing? I just gave you Santana. Okay, so Domingo to left. Josh Fields goes back to Toronto, so they traded him to us. He won a World Series, and now he's back with them. Max Muncy, so far the big money winner. I think Rhys Hoskins profiles very favorably to him, but he's out of the division, so he's not my issue. Eloy Jimenez picking up some money to head over to the Nats. Now that we got the permanent DH, that is an option. Do we really want to see O head to the Yankees? Or does he still have a role on this team? Nah, I'm willing to let him go. Parting is such sweet sorrow. Alright, we got Nick York down in the minors. I guess I should go hire an assistant GM, shouldn't I, to take care of filling out the minors a little bit. Any ex-Rockies that we can bring into the fold? Not particularly. Let's go with let's get Dave. Uncle Dave. Desmond Jennings and cash for 3 of our best young players. Why does everyone in this league think I'm a dunce? Eniel De Los Santos comes to Colorado. Looks like our manager wants to put him in the bullpen. Fine. If nothing else, we can shoost him down to the minors. Not saying I'm trying to cheap out on the bullpen, but I also know that there's multiple options out there. Oh, Goldschmidt. If only I didn't have Rhys Hoskins. Oh, man. A full decade in Detroit, a championship in 2020 to go with it, and an MVP in 2018. Very intrigued to see where he ends up. All right, Twinsies want to send us Chase Anderson for Luis Patino and Gregory Duran. No. We do not need more jerks in this clubhouse. All right, Omar G comes to the team. Stott's struggling on improving his infield defense. Nimmo frustrated. There may just not be enough room to grow there. I guess we should go look at getting some additional bullpen or some bench guys. We asked for Jace Peterson. Wendell Rijo is basically Gosuke Kato again. Let's bring Old Man Mabin back. No, he wants an actual full contract. Got a deal out to Luis Arraez. Offer something to Casey Kalaspi. Melvin Upton Jr. at age 37 is still kicking around. We definitely could stand to bring more youngins into the organization, so let's go sign Vidal Brujan. Domingo Leyba. P. Crow Armstrong. Hello, hello. I mean, if we got to flesh out the minor league system, we might as well do it by throwing money at people. There's no such thing as a bad minor league deal. No such thing. All we need is one of these dudes to turn into a proper lottery ticket to strike gold. And eventually I'm going to let the assistant GM hire up. Actually, I'm going to start doing that right now. Minor league free agents, minor league managers. Ooh, we gotta fix the minor league management staff. What the heck is going on here? Bunch of fictional dudes. All of them terrible. Did the game mean to do this? I wish I had noticed this earlier, like at the start of this stream session. Okay, thank goodness Scott Olison we still have. So we are going to promote him up to AAA manager. Chris DeMaria goes up to AAA. Pitching coach, John Caven. AAA hitting coach. There, just bring the whole team up. Whoop. Okay, Mike Roney might actually be decent enough to keep. What cross-eyed numpty decided that this was the right coaching staff to have? Fire everyone. Okay, we've got a minor league system to fix. Okay. Trying to balance out who goes where. See if we can get Geronimo Pena to be minor league manager. Okay, so we got our manager offers out. Let's go take a look at teach pitching. Wes Gardner. And yes, I am giving everyone 5-year deals because by the time these deals come to bite me back in the bottom, we will probably be done to save. This is the last time I want to be doing this. And Vinny Towns in the ACL. All right, hitting coach time. Peter Moreau. I like the legendary with mechanics changes. Let's go with Chris Widget. Oh, he doesn't want to. John Valentin? Sure. We are just throwing money at people. Larry Sutton. And for ACL, we want someone who's got good dev. Let's go with Sean McCamey. There. A couple $1,000,000. We got Luis Ariz come into the minor league system. Trade offers. Not interested in Desmond Ruddy Jennings. Plus, I just beat you in the postseason. Why are you doing that? All right, Michael Kelly, 3 years control. Could be a decent bullpen option. Fastball, curveball combo, but you're not getting Grisham. Who else do you want? All right, Luis Curbelo is an interesting option. th round pick. Could turn into something versus Michael Kelly, who hasn't really been much of anything. Extreme fly ball pitcher in Coors. Yeah, we're going to say no to this one. Tempting, but I'll pass. Thanks. All right, we got a bunch of our minor league system starting to come in. The one thing we're missing is good running skills. Oh well. There, now we got some acceptances. I think that's all the swaps or the staffing we needed to take care of. There we go. All right. Frustrated on strength and conditioning. We'll keep him going. We need Almora. Frustrated on all three. Trying to get improvements on his slider. No! No! Focus on the sinker. Ugh. All right, we're pulling J-Law from his program. Get the hence. I feel like these two could still deliver some value. Let's get Enrique Hernandez in to work on his infield defense. I mean, DJ could theoretically be a second baseman, but with that profile, he probably is best at third. Unless we somehow acquire someone or something changes. All right, we got a bunch of thanks for checking in on me's. Let's go take a look at the cheapo pitching options. Hello, Dylan Cease. Michael McGreevy is an interesting name. Let's go get a scouting report out on him. Randy Vasquez. Locke St. John, which is an amazing name. A-grade name. John King might be interesting. Slot baller, you know. Aaron Ashby, let's go grab him. To Brown. No shortage of minor league dudes. And the money's looking good. Ho Seung Hwan heads to Cleveland. He joins the Guardians on a one-year deal. Good for him. I'm not going to be finished with the minor league signings until all my minor league teams are filled up. So much more room to go. Now on the pitching, the starting pitching side, I should say, our options are still someone like Michael Fulmer, Justin Donatella. Oh, this plays. Right price, too. Well, you're sure as heck not going to the Giants. Hall of Fame results are in. Let's see who got the call to the Hall for 2022. Brian Scott and Troy Gloss are in. Former Rocky Marshall McDougall and Mark Pryor doing well in their first year on the ballot. Mo Vaughn drops off. Travis Lee Alf. Verlander gone. So let's take a look at these two. So Brian Scott, longtime New York Yankee, two-time Colorado Rocky. Never won a he won a championship with us in 2011. 16-6, 4.3 wins above replacement. He was good. 63 wins with the purple pinstripes, 118 with the navy ones. 2011, his best year in the postseason. 2 wins in 5 starts. That was his only championship. 6 All-Stars and a Cy Young in 2000. When he led the American League in ERA, starts, innings, 270. Wow. And wins above replacement. Troy Gloss goes in as an Athletic. Oakland was where he spent most of his time. Heading to Cleveland, Toronto, San Diego, and Chicago. At 58 home run, 3 50-plus home run seasons. Pretty good for the third baseman. Jose Altuve heads to the Diamondbacks. Now, let's go take a look and see who else has earned some paychecks. That's actually a bargain for Altuve. What, does Arizona just not have that much in terms of income tax? Brandon Bednar to Baltimore for 6 years. That is a interesting looking shortstop. That's the going rate for shortstops now? Oh, maybe we do give Gio the money. Mookie Betts goes from LA to San Diego. Oh, that's going to be tense. And on a sweetheart deal, too. Jackie Bradley Jr. gets the money from Baltimore. 5 years at 18 per. So far, Mike Zunino, I think, is the big money winner. Heading to the Angels. Yeah, no one signed a 9-digit contract this offseason. I mean, you remember Brandon Nimmo was ours. Ours? We signed him. Juan Minaya. I mean, if we didn't go out and get... Can't remember his name now. Donatella. I could convince myself to go get Juan Minaya. Minaya does have the better stamina, but that's about it. I think Donatella fits our team profile a lot better. I don't want to give up any of these guys in response. Pablo Sandoval heads to the NL West, joins the Diamondbacks, first baseman ostensibly. Jacob Barnes heads to the Marlins, so he's staying in the National League. Had a few good seasons for us, including a 28 save 2019. I just feel like we've got improvement opportunities within. Oof. Andrew Chafin to the Red Sox. 4/16. That's a lot less than he was looking for. And we got a supplemental first-round pick as a result. All right, we got Jace Peterson joining the minors. I feel like Jace could be very easily a player who comes up to the bigs. Ditto for Taylor Walls. We just got to give him another shot at improving his defense. At least Stott won't be a backwards movement. Let's get Taylor Walls lined up to do a learn new position. Let's get the queue set up. I'd love to see Luis Ariz work on his defense. Pook for Grisham. Pooter from this. That's not happening. Man, the Dev Lab has not been delivering much for me. Oh, hello. Come on, Almora. Stick with it. Wilfredo Rodriguez inks the big... Oh, Zach Eflin just earned bank. Did he get ARB declined? Declined contract option. Declined the qualifying offer. Became a free agent. I mean, he signed a 5-year extension with Oakland. That would have locked him up. But instead... I mean, he's got to recover from his bone spur injury. Looks like he got injured in the postseason drive. That is a lot of money to give a pitcher. $49 million for 25, 26, and 27. But White Sox wanted him. Other big name, Wilfredo Rodriguez, heads to the Nats. Member of the Detroit Tigers championship run. Defensively sound. A lot of money to give a catcher, though. Fulmer got a deal with the White Sox as well. White Sox just throwing money all over the place. They're making a push. We're now down to 15th in terms of total payroll. Blue Jays still sitting atop. Ay. Right, the Machado deal, the Stassi deal, Glasnow, Leone. That's a lot of money. And they still got Narciso Crook, last year's MVP, with 2 more ARB years after this. Blue Jays are a good club. It was Cleveland who was dead last in payroll, right? Let's go check in on them and see what the heck they're doing wrong. Oh! Oh boy. There is no money left in the till. Maybe we go sign Nick Barnes? Or trade for him? Tyler O'Neill, corner outfielder, pending free agent, Austin Slater. At least Jose Ramirez wound up with Cleveland still. You know, history doesn't always repeat itself, but sometimes it rhymes. There you can see the contracts for Almora, for Nimmo, for Bichette. Gonzalez, hopefully he doesn't pop that opt-out. We'll see. Jared Hughes and Samir Dunez. I mean, Dunez is interesting, but I just don't know where he'd play on our club. Kevin Gausman to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh throwing the money around. The big bad splitter comes to the Steel City. Those out years are going to be tough, but also he's had so few injuries. 2018 NL Cy Young, champion in 2018 with the Dodgers. Dodgers are going to love seeing him again. Donatello still hasn't picked up the phone. Alright, what's the latest? Okay, we have too many catchers. Yeah, let's make sure that my, yeah, minor league manager is handling free agent signings and releases. Leave it to them to figure out who needs to join their teams. Worst comes to worst, I turn on ghost players. Alright, so Kavius Sampson. No. Logan Harris and Anderson Espinoza, current Oryx Buffalo for Herlis Rodriguez and cash. That's a no from me. Chase Brookshire for Grisham. Why does everyone want Grisham? Jared Hughes for Nolan Gorman. Look, fellows, I appreciate your interest, but the answer is a firm no. Alright, we got Justin Donatella. Patino, ratings up. Henry Davis, ratings up. Gorman, okay. Guys are starting to develop. Preseason begins. Where are we starting the 2022 season? At home against LA, so we will not have any game action in this stream. That 2022 season opener will open up next week's. Really not sure about putting Sizemore into left field, but it's worth a try. See if we can't squeeze out just a little bit more defense from the dude. Ooh, on track and almost an excellent. Come on, Almora. Guillermo Heredia heads to Cleveland. They actually spent money on a contract, mostly to avoid getting complaints from the Players Association. Hopefully by having good defensive staff, or good development staff, we can actually build a team, and plus we're also going to have the minors, or the next draft, and that'll help. Allow incomplete minor league rosters. Okay. Got that sorted. I'd still rather have Donatella in as a pitcher over McKinney. Yeah, I think that's the call here. So let's move McKinney to reliever. There, Donatella. So now we can send down some of the other dudes who aren't going to be as big of a part of the team. Hoping Omar G. Espinoza balls out. Forgot we still have Alfredo Acosta for a reasonable price for the next little bit. My question is, do we extend Phillips? I'd be up for going 6 years on our closer. But not at 20 mil. All right, how about we do 5 years with the last year a player option, 15 million. Okay. I wasn't sure originally, but given his result last season, locking up our closer seems like a clever move. There's definitely an opportunity to improve on the record for most saves in a career. Greg McMichael. Oh, Breeze. Oh, I just noticed. That's a terrible pun. Yes, he's excelling. Come on, Almora. Lock in. Evan Phillips sticks around. We got our closer for the next 5 seasons. Very good closer. Yeah, I was taking a look at the team history earlier. Let's go scope that out now. Marco Gonzalez is going to be passing Mike Minor on the wins career board this season. He's already ahead of David Rolandini. Greg McMichael, Joaquim Soria, Oh Seung-hwan, Uehara, Allen, who's still pitching. Forgot we had Ken Ryan for a couple seasons. Greg Bauer, Kim Byung-hyun, Barnsey, and now Phillips. 43 in 1 season. How far up is he going to go on this chart? I mean, Greg McMichael was one of the original Rockies. Won a championship with us in 1998. Went to the Phillies. Won with them in 1999. Soria, the Avalancha, came up with us. Won championships in 2006 and 2007. And then O was just with our club. We got him in the draft. Electric in 2017-2018. And a bounce back year in 2020 as well. Just, I didn't think he still had more in him. Age 38, you know, gotta watch that aging curve. But hey, he won a ring in his last season here, so it all pans out. Let's move Cutter Crawford to the 60-day. So now it's between McKinney and Kopech. Okay, fine, McKinney, you get to be a starting pitcher. Let's get to spring training. Oh, Trout's injured again. Ha! Taylor Walls figured out how to play third base. Ooh, and he got some ratings boosts. Taylor, you want to come up to Colorado and see how you fare? Could be a super utility dude. Ah, he's down to on track. Boo. All right, let's figure out The rest of the team. Grisham is a speedy speed boy. Cannot wait to see how he fares this season. I feel like Nimmo could do better on his... Let's give him some base stealing technique. Let's work on Hoskins' base running. Put that gap power to use, big fella. We got a lot of speedsters on this club. I like that. Including Herlise. See if Shed can improve his defense at catcher. Irving Santana, the old man, heads to Miami. He wants that strikeout record. So we'll take a look at the career pitching stats. It's going to be close. I don't think he catches Nolan Ryan, but damn, he's not that far. Any other big signings as we get into free agency? Prince Fielder's still kicking around. Heads to the Dodgers. Chris Taylor to the Yankees for 4 years at almost $40 million. Goldschmidt to the Mets, 5 years at $41 million. Oh, to have that kind of money. Matt Bowman to the Angels. Kyle Seager to the Diamondbacks. Spangenberg to the Brewers. McCutcheon's still kicking around in the league. Goes to the Diamondbacks. Okay, so Arizona's actually spending some money this season. Kutch finally won a World Series in 2020. Good for him. I want to see if Kike Hernandez and Isan Diaz are going to form a platoon or not. Or if Isan goes to the bench for the time being. I think Isan goes to the bench for the time being. Let's force start Enrique to second. Force Sizemore to DH against lefties, or against righties. And that means Bowers takes over against at first base to let Reese DH. I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit on defense to give Kike Hernandez some starts. Besides, we got Gosuke Kato still. Espinoza with a control up. Love it. Gonsolin with a movement down. Less than ideal. Crawford with a potential velo drop. Hoskins loses power and gap. Great. J-Law can't figure out his off-speed pitch. Joey Ortiz starting to see some benefit. Hello. He might be something very special. And it looks like my minor league managers are indeed figuring out how to do this whole minor league organization signing thing. Let's get to spring training. Proneness improves from normal, bordering on fragile, to somewhat normal. Whew! Thank goodness! We have a lot of money locked up in our center fielder, and Lord knows he's had bad timing with injuries in the past. Come on, Sizemore. Lock in. Reese, you want to work on your infield? Oh, is he already in? Yeah, he's already in. My bad. Bowers. Work on your infield. And Murphy. Where's Murphy? Murphy. Work on your defense. Hello, spring training. Call some folks up and see if we can't cobble together a decent season. We've almost fleshed out the entire roster. I like it. All right. There's our pitching options. Chen Yenjui seems like an interesting minor league signing. All right. No injuries, please. We got the draft pool coming in momentarily. All right, who's in? Well, first off, let's see if there's anyone who's still unemployed who could use a get me over contract. Old man Arrieta. Clayton Blackburn, eh? All right, Clayton Blackburn. Give him a deal. Let's see what happens. Preseason predictions. They are calling for us to finish second behind the Giants again. In the not even in a wild card spot. Hollywood Ty, good to see you, man. All right, draft pool is up. We have 2 supplemental picks. Chafin and who else? Oh, right, the promotion incentive for Brock Burke. Right. All right, let's take a look here. Ooh. Seiya's getting posted. Oh, that would change some plans in a hurry. Roman Anthony would be hilarious as an outfielder. Jackson Holiday, infield option. There's some very tasty choices. I would love to pick up Seiya Suzuki, but he's headed to the Angels. They are calling us to take Jaime Melendez. Hayden Winja, would you like to buy a vowel? I mean, these are guys I'm... Oh, the filter. I'm glad you asked that. This is just what I use by default when I'm looking at players. Injury prone is normal, durable, or Iron Man. Baseball IQ is not low. Work ethic is not low. I'm willing to deal with some like selfish jerks, outspoken, but these three I find are the things that I look for most in players, especially at the draft. Last thing I need is to get a player who won't develop. Second last thing I don't need is a player who will get injured while developing. Let's get to the first cut day. Nimmo excelling on base stealing technique. Hello. Yeah, Sizemore didn't quite figure it out in time. Call up Blackburn, see how he handles the rotation. Let's send down... It's not quite cut day yet, but I wouldn't mind sending down Cease as well. So, we won the whole shebang in 2021, Ty. Finally got Grady Sizemore his 6th ring. 2020 was frustrating. We won the division, but we lost in a sweep to the Pirates. I think we wound up losing 10 straight NLDS games before we finally broke out last year. That's up to 7 championships. And once we get to opening day, I wouldn't mind doing a quick tour around the league to show y'all what some of the folks around here have been doing, team-wise. I think Gillespie is going to be the first player we demote. All right, let's take a look here. Who has failed me? Go send some guys down who aren't going to be seeing playtime anyway. I want Eniel de los Santos to stretch out and become a starting pitcher, so down to the minors he goes. He's getting paid like it. Omar G's pitching pretty well. Okay, okay. Blackburn's going to be pushing McKinney for a starting spot. Worst case, Blackburn heads down to the minors as well. I want J Law to do better. That's going to be tough to figure out. Let's take a look at the game type. Spring training. Walls is making a case to be on the team. Jace has not. So Jace down to AAA. As Enrique. Enrique hasn't really acquitted himself. I think Taylor Walls might be our starting second baseman. Let's give him a chance at least. I will also move Sizemore to the bench to let Enrique DH more often. All right, Taylor, the spot's yours. Let's see what you do with it. Baraki with a finger blister. Might as well move him to the bullpen for now. Head to the dev lab. Folks are just about finishing up. Oh, come on, Nimmo. Lock in the excelling. Yes! Stealing improves by 5 and aggressiveness improves by 5. Nimmo's going to be a threat. Hoskins improves his base running. All right, if Clayton Blackburn got moved down to the bullpen, let's send him down to the minors as well. Phillips hasn't allowed an earned run this spring training. I will get you on the Odd Stars Hollywood tie. We're going to go around the league and see who's the faces of the franchise for everyone. All right, so Taylor settled down. Isan Diaz actually leads with 6 home runs. I mean, if nothing else, Isan's going to be our shortstop next season. Donatella continues to be an ace. All right, we are through. I think McKinney's going to head down. Actually, no. I feel like he survived. Players who aren't on a contract are going to go down first. So that's Gonzo, Clay, and J-Law. And there's our 8-man bullpen. Okay, no, Diego deserves more than just being a right-handed specialist. So if he goes down, who comes back up? I think Gonsolin is going to be our dude. Specialist versus righty does not make any sense. We'll go with Clay and we'll see how that season goes. And Alvis can also be a lefty specialist. There we go. Clay can give us duration out of the bullpen. Espinoza, Gonsolin, Kopech, And Swanson, Acosta, and Phillips. I'm eager to see how Donatella fares. Yeah, Dylan Cease never quite developed in this. All right, Bowers. I hate to do it, buddy. Down you go. And we need one more cut. Grisham did not acquit himself well enough to earn the starting job in left, but I have very little choice. What else am I going to do? Put Herlis Rodriguez out there? He's on the bubble for sure. Walls, I think, qualified to take over second base. Hernandez DHing and being our super utility on the infield. Or does Walls go down and then Isan takes over at second? I think Gosuke is actually going to be the one who heads down. Love you, buddy, but we've got our lineup set. Okay, so Walls as our new starting second baseman. Nimmo will figure out right field in full eventually. Sizemore, Riding Pines, so much for being the guy. I mean, I reserve the right to make changes at any point. Let's do a comparison. I feel like you could make a case for Sizemore. Yeah, he's still alive at 39. This is his last season. And then compare Enrique to Walls. Enrique is a stopgap. I was not expecting him or Taylor Walls to develop so quickly and to be ready to go at this point. Who? Sizemore? Sure. So his first big boy contract was 2000, or salary was 2007. Signed a deal with us. He almost became a free agent. We locked him up to a 9-year contract after the during the 2007 season. But he exercised his opt-out, became a free agent. We signed him a month later on this 5-year deal. And then we gave him a 4-year extension. Probably shouldn't have, but we needed a forever Rocky. He is the franchise leader in games played and hits. The goal is to get him to 2,500. So I can't believe I'm doing this. We're force starting Sizemore at DH. And we're going to let Walls not be the force start at second base. Make him be a utility dude. Manager likes Isan Diaz in that spot. I'd much rather have Isan available off the bench as a super sub. Yeah, we'll see what Enrique Hernandez does. We got him for a reason. And with Walls and Isan Diaz as the super utilities, we got our infield covered. Herlis covers the outfield. Sizemore can handle the corners. Let's get to opening day. Hey, Jake Bowers has improved his defense. Nice. MLB implements no-fly zone for Phil Bickford's drone. What, isn't that a Trevor Bauer story? Top minor league system. We are actually 8th because we went out and signed a whole bunch of dudes to flesh out the minor league team. Taylor Walls getting the call up. Red Sox are going to be a problem. Bobby Witt Jr. Oh, man. Lars Taylor, Tatsuji Nutbar. A Los Angeles Angel and really stinking good. Give him the nickname Tat-chan. Preseason projections. They're calling for us to finish, once again, second best in the National League, second best in the National League West. I can't deal with this. All right. I promised to go around the league. We got 30 minutes left in the stream. Let's spend a minute and take a look at each team. Meet the team. Starting with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Jose Altuve got the big money, or got a decent contract. Pablo Sandoval. They got Spencer Strider coming up, and he's going to be spooky good. McCutcheon in left. Already injured. Michael Geddes in center field. This is a team that's been struggling. Never won in 2001. Drew Hutchison, still the franchise leader in wins with 70. Oy. Hanley Ramirez, though, first ballot Hall of Famer for sure. Over 121 wins above replacement, winning 7 Golden Gloves at shortstop. Over 3,000 hits in over 2,500 starts. Yeah, this Hanley was astoundingly good. Over to the Braves. Will Myers, former Rocky, still with the club. Trey Turner has come up and turned into a stud, albeit a fragile one. Mike Yastrzemski, I covet, or at least I did until I acquired Brandon Nimmo. Randall Grichuk, former Rocky, has really developed since leaving the elevated confines. Yeah, not just a serviceable glove. Hanley at one point was rated 85 across the board. I've never seen that before. So Braves lost the World Series in 2019, lost the Division Series in 2020. They are entering their decline phase. And B-Craw as their shortstop, no less. Over in Baltimore, John Means, the worst ace in the league after we traded him over. Interesting infield with Gallo, Gregorius. Conforto in center is probably a miss. But he'll become a free agent soon and can probably move back to left or right field. Jackie Bradley Jr. should be the center fielder. What are you doing? To Boston we go. Domingo Santana. We just traded him. Along with Giancarlo Stanton. Wander Franco. Jose Iglesias at third. Nunez at first. The farm system is the key. And Andrew Chafin getting a decent amount of money to join the club after winning a ring with us. Most recent championship for Boston, if memory serves, was 2001. They beat the Pittsburgh Pirates in an original World Series rematch. Yeah, the Sox have not been kind. I mean, they were good at one point, just not recently. The White Sox, however, added a couple of championship wins in 2010 and 2008. Ben Francisco, the new franchise leader in home runs. longtime White Sox. 48 home runs in his rookie campaign. Almost 500 home runs. He's going to try and do it as a member of the Diamondbacks. Might get there. Paul DeJong, the big first-round selection, face of the franchise. I mean, this is a White Sox team that was built on guys like Joey Votto. This is a weird look for them. Mickey Moniak, oh, he's going to be good. Oh, yeah, Tyler Skaggs. He was a member of our team. He pitched a no-hitter for us. Won a World Series in 2013, but toiled with the Rockies for a while. We just couldn't give him the money. You know who is getting the money? Zach Eflin. $270 million over 6 years for a wrecked pitcher. Not my money. Yeah. Cubbies last won the World Series in 2016 in this game. Malik Smith is the face of their franchise. Decent contract for a team captain. Speedster. Looks like the infield is really where the good sauce is. And Charlie Blackmon aging poorly out in left field. Garrett Cole did not get any development. He was great in Kansas City. Won a ring with them in 2019. Flop sweat since. Greg Maddux still holds the franchise record for strikeouts with over 2,000 in blue pinstripes. He never went to Atlanta in this save. He stayed in Chicago. Cincinnati scares me. We had no business beating them in the NLCS last year. They had us dead to rights before we came back in Game 6 and then stomped them in Game 7. Hollywood Tie, we started in 1992. So I didn't control anyone in 92, but I joined the Rockies right at the expansion draft. This Reds team is going to win a championship at some point. I'm positive. Real Muto behind the plate. Pete Alonso over at first. They acquired him in the offseason from Tampa Bay. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's going to be good. Rengifo over at second. Andrelton Simmons still doing his craft at short. Ronald Stinkin' Acuna Jr. Batting title champion last season. And then you got Max Fried anchoring the rotation. Inked to a long-term extension. Chris Sale as a reliever, as a middle relief guy. Oh yeah, you want to talk funny, Hollywood Tie? Look at the middle two seasons here with Pittsburgh and LA for Chris Sale. That 2018 season was absolutely ridiculous. Zach Britton-esque. Yeah, Sale never got starter stamina. So he just developed into quite literally the most dangerous closer in the game. Yeah, probably Hall of Famer. Small problem, they got Garrett Crochet too. The Reds have, quite honestly, the most dangerous bleep you back end of the bullpen. Yeah, Reds developed real quick. Home run leader Mark Reynolds spent his entire career in a Reds uniform. Was putting up MVP numbers and indeed won 5 of them. 3 of them in a row. But the injuries. He just could not stay healthy. You know what? Mark Reynolds in this save is the Ken Griffey Jr. What if he stayed healthy? And then the Space Needle, Ryan Anderson. An absolute ace for this club. 7 Cy Young Awards. That 2007 season is simply bonkers. That's a lot of red. He signed with us in 2015 to go win a ring. We could never get him over the line. Still has the career lowest ERA for a Rocky, by the way. Marco Gonzalez is just behind him. The Reds have not won an additional World Series in this save. Their last championship was 1990. We were the cause of a lot of these teams going down to defeat, I am ashamed to say. Cleveland. Teeny budget. Slowly coming around, though. They got a lot of people doing okay. Yeah, they suffered through a lot, but as you can see, the juice was worth the squeeze. They got J-Rod coming up. Alec Thomas coming up. Johnny Cannon looks like he's going to be a phenom out of the bullpen. And no, you're not seeing things. The home run leader in franchise history is Brooks Kieschnick. We traded him away. And then he goes and hits 64 home runs in 2000 to become the AL MVP. This is the one that got away. If you take a look at my decision history, Kieschnick is like third on that list. So in real life, Brooks Kieschnick was actually a two-way dude. Or tried to be. And then there's us. You know us. Ken Griffey Jr. still has the franchise lead in home runs. Got in on the first ballot Hall of Fame. Until Claudio Arias takes over, he's still the career leader in all MLB for home runs. And Arias is only one good season away. 27. And he got traded to the Yankees. Very interesting. Oh, what did Arias do in real life? Never made the majors. 42 career home runs from 2003 to 2006. In this save, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seasons leading the majors in home runs. Still looking for that first ring, though. So yeah, the infield, yeah, no kidding. Infield, a little dicey. Outfield, maybe one of the best in the bigs. And the pitching staff, oh. Crawford, Marco Gonzalez, and Brock Burke. Arms of Doom. Oh, okay, I'm not extending Gio Meyer. His infield range went down to 70. That's my cue. Detroit has been a fantastic team. Won the World Series in 2020. Previously employer of Paul Goldschmidt, who's now a Met. But you see here the rest of the team that's still left. Eddie Rosario, phenom. Eddie Diaz as a starter, electric. Cy Young Award winner and World Series champion in 2020. Jurickson Profar coming up as a dominant player. Tim Anderson, BAPIP God. Roberto Osuna. Tanner Scott, the electric arm in the bullpen. Shades of John Hiller. Won a Rookie of the Year, or won Rollade's Relief Man in 2021. 1.23 ERA last year. Over in Houston. No championships yet. That made it change after a while. Narvaez. Frazier looks like he's going to be fun. Manny Margot. Zach Gallen. Got the big boy lockup. Sub 1 whip for Houston. And adding Donnie Joseph last season helped cement the bullpen too. Houston's a team on the up, I think. And Zach Bird still setting franchise bests. A career Houston Astro could break 150 career wins this season. He's already broken over 2,000 strikeouts. Played one season of JUCO. Or of the Penn League in real life. In this save, getting a statue in front of Dykeen Park. The Royals, champions in 2019, and I think they won it in 2017 as well. Part of the reason for that, Marcus Semien. Got the long-term contract, sticking around long-term, dangerous player. Tommy Joseph behind the plate. Olivares over at first. Probably deserves to be an outfielder, but they're trying him at first base anyway. Santander in right. Pitching leaves a little bit to be desired, but you got a guy like Leo Jimenez coming up through the minors pretty quick. Kevin Appier stayed in Kansas City his entire career, and after the struggles in 94 and 95 to eventually pick up a Cy Young Award in 2001. Heck of a comeback for him. And no, that's not who you'd expect as a home run king. The Tom Tom Club, the Thunder from Down Under, Tom Bryce, toiled away in Kansas City. 63 home runs in 2004. Didn't win the Triple Crown despite leading the league in the rest of the slash line. That year was just ridiculous. Not only did Pedro not go to Boston, he lost his sauce. He was good in LA, but then got terribly injured and bombed out in Atlanta. So Bryce got fed up, signed with Colorado in 2011, and won 3 straight championships with us. Just a phenomenal player. Such a fun player to have, too. To the Angels we go. Captain Cavan. Oh yeah, that was OPS 1.2. In Kansas City. At Kauffman. Angels are a frustrating team. Phil Bickford looks like he's going to be their next big pitcher. Matt Bowman currently is. Kevin Biggio, Captain Cardiac. Dion Viciedo leads the team in hits, career hits. The Cuban Tank has been here forever. This is his upcoming free agent walk year. Maybe he can head to Nagoya after the season. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Hall of Famer on the first ballot. Went from San Fran to Anaheim, then to Seattle. Never could get over the hump. I think we actually beat him in one of these 3 World Series. But that 365 batting average in 2001 was incredible. Max LP, hey! Thank you for the resub, dude. Just shy of 600 home runs, just shy of 2,000 RBI. 3,000 career hits, though. No surprise he leads the team in career home runs. The Dodgers, one of my perennial nemeses. No career leaderboard changes. Harrison Bader, going to be one of their top players. They're in a transition year, I think. This is not a team that I'm scared of. We were talking about Pedro Martinez. Let's go take a look at him. Did get into the Hall of Fame. I mean, you win 6 Cy Youngs in a row. You kind of do that. Oh, you will see them, Hollywood. You will. You will. But you see here, went to Atlanta, made 2 starts and blew out his arm. And he came back and he was just never the same. Still, 330 strikeouts in 1998. Really stinking good. No rings, though. No rings. Yeah, we will get to the guy who wound up being as dominant. Just you wait. Marlins. Interesting club. Travis Hafner leads all batters. Spent almost his entire career with Miami, then had a brief blip with Minnesota. Less said about that, the better. Almost 500 home runs as a member of the Fish. Batted .309, won the World Series in 2009. And then Jimmy Johnson, the primary pitcher. Never a reliever, always a starter. Just kept getting injured for the Dodgers. He's back with the Dodgers again. Interesting looking team with Hendricks, Leclerc. They just signed Jacob Barnes away from us. Leclerc, ooh. Oh. 2 years to be the closer. Free agent contract. Very interesting. Jonah Arenado, who we traded away. Oh, looks like he turned in a 4-WAR season. Tony Kemp, Scott Kingery. Looks like he's developing into something neat. 6.3 wins above replacement last year. Yeah, that counts. Johnny Lukes, the face of the franchise. 2 championships, 2009 and 2015. I did get Evan Phillips for $15 million for his free agent years. We bought him out of those, at least. Brewers, struggle bus. Yandy Diaz is something special, but the rest of this team, who knows? At least they got Brandon Woodruff. At least that's accurate. And he's staying healthy so far. Brad Eldred never went to Hiroshima. He stayed in Milwaukee. 414 career home runs for Big Red. He's missing his giant beard. Zach Greinke leads the team, the franchise, in career strikeouts. 2 championships, both of them with us. 2 Cy Youngs, both of them with us. That 2013 season was something special. But he's most remembered as a Brewer, even though he pitched for the Blue Jays and Rangers afterwards. You want Ohtani? There's Ohtani. But he still can't stay healthy. But in 2020, putting up 7 triples, 64 dingers, 165 RBI, he's pretty good. And they're still going to try and two-way him. I mean, I would too. Ohtani has been on my I covet him list for ages. I have no idea what it's going to take to get him away from Minnesota, though. We just traded Edson Garcia to them. David Bodie looks like a defensive stud. Bullpen looks wobbly. No changes in the leaderboards. Well, not yet. And all right, Jonathan Daza in right field, pending free agent. The Yankees have not won a World Series in this save. Ha 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 ha. Haven't won a championship since 1977, and boy, or 1978, and boy, do we let them know. We beat them in 2006. We beat them in 2012. Start spreading the newspaper. I'm going to take a dump on the floor. This team stinks. Well, they're getting better. Pablo Lopez as an ace. Our old friend Leonis Martin still kicking around. Byron Buxton. Kyle Tucker in left. Ooh. Oh, that's going to be scary. Tommy Edman at short. Bregman getting a long-term extension to be the third baseman. Chris Taylor, they just signed this offseason. Yeah, I worry about Jay Telford, age 92. I just want to see one more win, please. Poor guy. Our manager, our owner, a relatively spry age 72. Mets ran into a butter knife last season. They gave DJ LeMahieu the big money. Goldschmidt got the big money, so I don't know where they're going to put DJ then. Second? Sonny Gray. They're spending money left, right, and center, courtesy of Jared Bembry. Jimenez looks like he could be fun. Some guy named Randy on the up and up. Oh, that's going to be a fun player. Sonny Gray is their ace. Jarrell Cotton as their closer. Have the Mets won in this save? Yeah, 2005 they picked up a win. They had a good run back in the early 2000s. Oakland, we beat them in the World Series last year. That's despite them employing Choi Ji-man, Yohan Moncada, and Nolan Arenado. This team is spooky good. Outfield leaves a little bit to be desired. But you got Justin Steele coming out of the pitching rotation. Chirinos might be a bit wobbly in the closer spot. The Giambino never left. Or at least didn't leave till late in his career and then went to Boston. Franchise leader in home runs, 512. 67 and 64 to lead the American League those two respective years. Almost a 1.2 OPS in 2000. Someone ate his Wheaties. Oh, yeah, let me check to see. Mets. Arias leads the franchise in career home runs with 360. We already saw him. Travis Fryman, franchise leader in hits. Went from Detroit to Houston to Mets and stayed there. Could never get into the Hall of Fame, though. Still has a few more chances. The Phillies got their World Series ring in 1999. Have been a thorn in my side since. Willie Adames, dangerous player, and signed up long term. Corey Seager, pending free agent. When he's healthy, he's great. And Soler Power. One of the most consistent bats in the National League. Pitching may be a little to be desired with Trevino, but they'll manage. Alex Adriano Rodriguez, A.A. Rod. Gonna give him that nickname. As their closer. Todd Helton as the franchise leader in hits. You were wondering where he wound up if not Coors? He wound up in Philly. Almost a decade and a half wearing red pinstripes. Then off to Oakland, Arizona, and Boston for cups of coffee. One shy of 750 doubles. Shoe in for the Hall of Fame. To Pittsburgh, where the owner is not Bob Nutting, and as a result actually gives the team a substantial budget. They've spent it all on pitching. In addition to Kevin Gausman, who they just signed to a eye-popping deal, $248 million over 6 years. They also have Luke Weaver, the Dream. And he's got some substantial cash coming to him. That 1-2 punch is devastating. Got Javi Baez at second, Alejo Lopez at short. Outfield leaves a lot to be desired, but why would a team trade away Chris Sale? Because they got Emilio Pagan instead. Tampa shouldn't have traded him. Eric Chavez, team leader in games played, first ballot Hall of Famer, only played 119 games for another franchise. 520 doubles, 582 dingers, never won a World Series. Pittsburgh was just in a bad time. He was in Pittsburgh at the wrong time when we were good, but the consistency for Chavez was impressive. Padres have not won a World Series. They employ the best defensive shortstop in the game in Michael A. Taylor. And he's a good center fielder, too. Freaking ridiculous. Rest of the team, little bit interesting. Mookie Betts comes over from LA. Walker Buehler, their ace. Jason Worth, franchise leader in home runs, came over in 2003 and stayed. Even then, only 238. They don't have a big home run hitter in their franchise history. And they're, especially since they're trying to trade away Aaron Judge, who will probably take the career record this season. Yes, that's Craig Breslow. Came over from Florida and stuck around long-term in San Diego. Very much got the John Smoltz juice. Almost 200 starts in almost 1,000 appearances. Over 125 each wins and saves. And a Cy Young in 2011. That got him a ridiculous amount of money, by the way, at the time. You were paying a reliever 20 mil. To the Giants, another one of our bugaboos. Still haven't won a championship since coming to San Fran. Mostly because they keep running into us. You want to talk about a team that's scary. Yordan Alvarez at first. Bryce Harper in right. Ian Happ in left. Hicks in center field. And Riley at third base. Giolito as their primary starter. I mean, 35 stamina is a push, but the results are there. This team scares me. Oh, and they got Chris Bryant as well. Yeah, he was their starting third baseman. Riley, I think, has usurped that spot. So KB's probably going to DH. Or play first and let Yordan DH. Either way, this team, scary. No wonder they're picked to win the division. Seattle, their top star is Bo Bichette. And I have to wrap this up. I'm supposed to be calling a friend soon. Max Muncy, Patrick Corbin. Max Muncy, I think, was a recent signing. Yeah, coming over from Kansas City. Zimmerman, franchise leader in home runs. Signed a free agent deal to come to Boston. Jared Hughes, the franchise leader in pitching wins. Then we got him, we broke him, and he hasn't been the same since. And yeah, Miguel Cabrera. All but one season with Seattle. This run was absolutely ridiculous. A triple crown in 2017. As a shortstop, by the way. First ballot Hall of Famer for sure. Cardinals. Hi, Max. Good to see you again. Possibly on the up and up. Ozzy Albies as shortstop. Benintendi at left. Sean Marshall still kicking around. Team looks like they could make some noise. Be worried about the rotation if Sean Marshall's your best, though. Tampa. And here's Mike Trout. Wrecked. We knew that was coming. He finally made his first postseason appearance last year. Cursed to play out his days in the Bay. Jesse Winker, at least, is a good companion to him. Almost batted 400 in 2020. Ay, ay, ay. Lorenzo Cedrola in center field. Very interesting. Alexis Diaz as the closer. I'd rather see Paredes. Anthony Rendon at third. Team's on the up and up. They finally won a postseason game. Franchise leaders in games played are Eloy Gutierrez, who hung around for ages. In home runs, Juan Gonzalez. In all of 5 seasons. He did hit 70 for them in 2001. That was the same year Marcus Thames hit like 77, I think. And Eric Bedard as the best pitcher. Yeah, the Rays don't have much of a history. Texas. Taylor Ward's a fun player. Billy McKinney actually delivered on his promise in right field. Rodon. Jackson Tetreault. Yeah, the team's not quite figuring it out. Brant Colomarino, though. The Naturals. 79 home runs in 2004. Who is this Barry Bonds guy you speak of? Absolutely going to be a Hall of Famer. Ivan Rodriguez leads the franchise in hits, aside from a dalliance in 1999 with San Fran, a career Ranger, as it should be. And here he is, the greatest pitcher in this franchise, in this save, Ervin Santana. He got the Pedro Martinez juice. That's a lot of red. 13 Cy Youngs and 2 championships. One with Detroit and one with the Rangers. He got another 2+ year contract to play with the Marlins. He may get to 5,000. Not in a row. Not in a row. He got interrupted in 2015. Yeah. This guy was absolutely bonkers. I'll skip the Blue Jays. I want to save them for last. Mets, or the Nats, going to be a fun team this year. Dom Nunez. Oh, very good. Scary player. Willie Castro. Frankie Lindor was a free agent signing. Bullpen has David Bednar and Chiang Xiaoqing coming over in a trade from Baltimore. So just onto the other side of the Beltway. Franchise leader in games played and hits, Brian Roberts. Spent almost his entire career with the Expos Nats franchise. Bounced around a little bit towards the end. Might be a Hall of Famer. We'll see. And my beloved Blue Jays. That reads 5, yes. Max Stassi, another one that got away. We traded him in a package with a bunch of other guys. I didn't expect him to turn to a Gold Glover. I can tell you that much. Narciso Crook, last year's MVP. Bullpen looks like a little bit wobbly. McNeil, Machado. Still no big pitcher aside from Steeb. Sean Green leads the franchise in home runs with over 700 as a Blue Jay. No surprise he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. But Carlos Delgado. Never moved off catcher. Never left Toronto. First ballot Hall of Famer. 687 home runs. Katsuya Nomura, eat your heart out. And was on the team for all 5 of the Blue Jays championships. The most recent in 2000. God bless King Carlos. All right, that will wrap it up. Ryan Baraki healthy again. Hey, we were allowed to have 28 players on our team? Handy. So that means I don't need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 pitchers. So Sam Alvis. Bye-bye. And we can call up one more fielder. Let's go with... do I trust Cato or Peterson? Cato. Air. Our team is ready. Oh, I can call up 2 dudes. Okay. And Sam Alvis gets an earache as soon as we send him down. Let's call up Bowers then. Guys earned it. Game 1 of the 2022 season will be next week, Wednesday. You'll see me next on Saturday with the Scouts, Hoofddorp Pioneers, Honkbal Hoofdklasse. I gotta bounce. Time is precious, folks, and I'm grateful you've chosen to spend some of yours with me tonight. Firage, take us out. Let's finish the week strong.